I'm David. Can you help me? I'm very confused.
Woo! Yeah.
As you said, you left the jacket for me in the living room. But this can't be right. I mean, this jacket seems way too small. And this one, here, seems way too big. Ugh. There's a lot of jacket confusion at the zoo today. And Mr. Peak, the zookeeper, doesn't understand what's wrong. The story is by Kevin Waldron, and it's called Mr. Peak and the Misunderstanding at the Zoo. It is on the stroke of 9 a.m, more or less, and Mr. Peak, the zookeeper, gets ready to do his rounds. He puts on his favourite jacket, makes him feel very important. He notices that it is very tight, and one of the buttons pops off. This is not a good start to his day, but he sets off nonetheless. Ha 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 ha! Woe is me! You're getting fat! Mr. Pig says to himself, noticing the bulge in his jacket. The hippo overhears and thinks the remark is intended for her. All that terrible food you eat will be the end of you, Mr. Peak proclaims as he passes the penguins' pool. Hearing what he said, the penguins all look at each other in horror. They had just finished breakfast. Why, you're sweating just doing your rounds, Mr. Peak says to himself as he approaches the bear's cave. You stink, he exclaims. You're getting old too. Look how wrinkly you are, declares Mr. Peak to himself as he passes the elephants. If they think you're too old for this job, they'll fire you, he sighs as he passes the crocodile pit. They're always watching. Mr. Peak checks on the monkeys, muttering to himself. They're all out to get you. You can't turn your back for a moment. Maybe it won't even come to that, he sulks to himself as he nears the tortoise's garden. You could get run down by a rhino tomorrow. Would anybody even care? Mr. Peak asks himself aloud, surrounded by giraffes. None of the animals even like you. Ha ha ha, woe is me, Mr. Peak continues, feeling very sorry for himself. Turning a corner, he sees his son, Jimmy, sweeping the path in a very large jacket that reaches down to the ground. Jimmy looks at his dad and laughs. You have my jacket on, Dad. Mr. Peak and Jimmy swap their jackets. Jimmy's jacket is missing a button, but he can see the funny side of it. Mr. Peak is very relieved. See you at home for lunch, son, he says cheerily, and sets off again. I guess you're not so fat after all. In fact, you're in pretty good shape for someone your age, Mr. Peak says to himself as he makes his way back home. The hippo was much happier with that. The food you eat is fine. You have a healthy diet, says Mr. Peak as he passes the penguins. Now they can't wait for lunch. You don't smell bad at all. No need to worry about that. A reassured bear stepped out of the cave. You're not too wrinkly either. You look just fine the way you are. The elephants flap their large ears and trumpet with delight. You were foolish to think that they're always watching you. When the crocodiles hear this, they relax and laugh at themselves. They're your friends, the monkeys chuckle and go back to playing. You're fit and healthy, why worry? The giraffes were still feeling blue until Mr. Peak passed by and said, all the animals are like family to you. There is no reason to doubt that. All's well with the world, thought Mr. Peak, pleased to see the animals looking so cheerful. He had thought they had looked a little glum earlier on. Mr. Peak promised himself that he wouldn't get so carried away again. He reached into his pockets for his keys, but they were not there. Oh, poop! Those mischievous monkeys, they must have picked my pocket. And that story was called Mr. Peak and the Misunderstanding at the Zoo. I wonder if Andrew has left me the wrong jacket on purpose. Well, while I sort out this jacket muddle, it's time for you to go to bed. And I'll see you soon for another story. Good night. Well done, young man.
Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah! You nailed it, Kev.
Best story ever.
Real proud of you, buddy.